Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Automelogy channel. Welcome back to free-to-play Ultimate Iron Man progress. It's been a really long time, as has often been the case with my videos in the past year or two, but very happy and excited to be bringing you guys another free-to-play Ultimate progress video, as I have been playing this account again semi-casually and making some decent progress. What I've sort of been waiting for to start making this video, something that is tangible progression, is that I just got a Mime random event, which may seem insignificant, but basically what happened is I've been wanting to unlock all these Mime emotes for a while, and way back I did Mime emotes, I got the first two, and then I would only ever get outfit pieces after that. So for a while I was training smithing, which I did quite a while ago, I wore the entire Mime outfit except for the mask because I wanted to have the reindeer hat on instead. And I did like 5 or 10 Mime events in a row, always got the mask, so I figured that I was like locked into getting the mask until I like kept the mask, and then I would start getting emotes. So eventually I did that, and I got this emote, which is the next one I unlocked, and then for the longest time I have been carrying this entire Mime set. I have the boots equipped because they're not much different stat-wise, but I wanted to have actual armor while killing ogresses. I swear to God, it's been over 100 hours of gameplay that I have not gotten a Mime emote. And finally, just a few minutes ago, I got a Mime event. I trained from like 70 something to 85 attack and most of a strength level without getting a single Mime event. And I did like some smithing and crafting and other shit before that too. It took so long. And finally I got this, which mainly just means I can drop this shit and have 4 more inventory spaces open. I can go get my fighter boots or fancy boots or whatever instead of having Mime boots, which have slightly better stats. I can play the game again, you know. But yeah, it feels really good, so that's sort of a nice jumping on point to this video. So actually there was an interesting update that happened today where now Rings of Forging can be made in free-to-play, which is a very big change for free-to-play Iron Man. And as you can see, I picked up a gold bar here, and ogresses drop a lot of gems. So I'm going to make a Ring of Forging and just have it on me. I don't think that Rings of Forging are actually very useful for Ultimate Iron Man because just, you know, they take up inventory space, and you'd have to be going between ogresses or something that drops rubies and then getting all the gold bars and then going training smithing with a partially filled inventory and then going back and forth. It sounds complicated, but we still have some testing to do to figure out whether there's a good method there or not. But for now, I may as well just have one equipped, since there are no useful rings other than that in free-to-play. As far as, I wasn't super excited about the idea of this update just because none of the other rings are becoming free-to-play, and it just seems sort of unnecessary, and if anything, they could have just made it so that they're tradable in the GE, but not able to be made by Iron Man. They made it so that you can pay some guy in the GE 250 GP per ruby ring to turn them into Rings of Forging, so you can't even actually use the enchantment spells on them to enchant them with cosmic runes. You have to pay GP to an NPC to enchant them in free-to-play instead, which is kind of weird. The whole thing is just kind of weird, and I don't really think the update was necessary at all, and it makes smithing like way faster for regular Iron Men because ogresses drop a shit ton of rubies, way more than you ever need for smithing. But yeah, for ults, I don't think it's a big effect, if any effect at all, but may as well have one. I'll go to the GE in a couple minutes and get it enchanted. Okay, I think it's this guy, Murky Matt, maybe? Or no, wait, oh yeah, it is. I hear you deal in Rings of Forging. 250 GP per ring. Alright, cool. I would like 1. Thank you. Alright, that I guess will come in handy sometime. Alright, the next thing I'm gonna do is yeet this fucking Mime outfit off of this account forever. Goodbye. We never need to touch that again. I'm so happy about that. So I'm gonna head down to the stronghold and just grab some boots. They have a little bit of stats, so may as well. No longer have to wear the stupid Mime boots. And a couple other small things to note, I'm actually recording this in the aspect ratio of the RuneScape client. Most of you guys probably know that the typical video player is 16:9 or, you know, like 1280 by 720. And the fixed size RuneScape client is 765 by 503 pixels. so pretty close to 3 to 4, I think. And so people have to stretch to like make it fit the aspect ratio of the YouTube or Twitch player, whatever. People have to stretch it out a bit, unless they're playing in resizable and resize their client to be just the right size. But somewhat recently, the YouTube player now like sort of supports different aspect ratio on videos, so that like it won't look quite as terrible and there won't be like the black bars, I don't think. So I'm going to try uploading this like that, and that way, I mean, it'll be more true to the aspect ratio and potentially look a little bit nicer, but let me know how you guys feel about that, whether you think it looks better or worse. Yes. I think I'm actually going to take the fighting one still. I'm going to get headed back to Ogresses now, which usually I actually have one very cool other thing to show you guys. So I usually go to Clan Wars after each trip. Well, actually, after each trip I go to Varrock first to make strength potions. So I pick up the Limperts there, and then I go to the Varrock sewers, pick up some red spider's eggs, and then make strength potions at the apothecary. And a full set of strength potions will last a fair amount of time. But yeah, one very cool thing that I just passed recently also is green cash stack on the free-to-play Ultimate Iron Man, which in the past was a pretty big deal, but nowadays it's really honestly pretty easy because Ogresses drop a ton of alchable items. They're probably like 50 to 100k GP per hour, which is way faster than any other money-making method used to be. And I actually head to the Shante here, which you can use for a sort of fun teleport, where basically you tell him that you are a criminal. Yes. It puts you in jail, and then you have to refuse to pay him money to get out of this jail, and then sends you to Port Sarim jail. So it's a good teleport, and Port Sarim is the closest point to where you need to go to get to Ogresses. So here I am back at the Ogresses, and this is the spot that I've been using recently for them, but I can't really confirm or deny whether it's the best spot. I've tried a few different spots in the cave, and the spawns are not really that ideal anywhere, but this is one spot that seems to be a bit less crowded, so that's just sort of what I've gone with recently. The spot that I used to use definitely has like better spawn locations for warriors, but it's one of the most popular spots in the cave, and I was constantly getting crashed, so I decided to explore around, see if there was any other reasonable options to use, and I've been liking this spot for the past like maybe week or two. So you may be wondering why I kill these things, and the reason is because of their drop table primarily. They're not the best XP per hour because they have pretty high defense, and they have pretty high offense too, which means you have to prayer flick against them, which is not the most convenient thing, but their drop table is completely off the charts for free-to-play. For those who don't know, these came out towards the end of 2017, so a little over a year ago, and they completely changed the metagame for free-to-play Iron Man because their drop tables are just like absolutely insane compared to anything else in free-to-play. They drop like 5 times as many runes of all the useful types, which are laws, natures, and deaths. They also drop a bunch of chaos and cosmic, which might be useful for some people. And on top of that, they drop a bunch of rune items where you can get a ton of GP, which used to be a pretty scarce thing for free-to-play Iron Man, and now it's like these things just shit out GP, and it's basically an unlimited resource for free-to-play Iron Man. So these things are like the game pretty much solved for most skills. It makes so many things so much faster and easier, which obviously, me being who I am, most of you probably know that I'm not a huge fan of things being made faster and easier in this game. I definitely prefer if Ogresses didn't come out, but they're here, so may as well take advantage of it and integrate it into the metagame of free-to-play Iron Man. So yeah, the main things I collect here are law runes, nature runes, death runes, and coins. The law runes can be used for teleporting, obviously, and teleports are useful for various different training methods. You need to use teleports to train crafting because you have to teleport to Falador to use the furnace there, and then teleport back to wherever you're crafting, which is usually Varrock Southwest. Either that or you can walk back to the crafting guild. You use them also to train smithing if you're doing teleport methods like I did to get to level 90, where I was mining at Varrock Southwest and then using the furnace at Falador. And you can also actually use them for rune crafting. You can do earth runes and teleport to Varrock, and it makes it a little bit faster. So there's lots of uses for those, and they're very important to free-to-play Iron Man. And also they drop nature runes. Nature runes are really good for superheating because superheating is by far the fastest smithing XP per hour. And the only reason that people don't do it for all of their XP is because you don't generally get enough nature runes to be able to do it for all of your smithing XP. But any XP you can do with nature runes, you absolutely should. And death runes are good for training magic. The fastest magic XP per hour you can get is with Fire Blast. So it's very good to be able to use those. Before Ogresses, you wouldn't get enough GP to be able to use very many death runes because they're pretty expensive from shops. But here you get a good amount of death runes that you need to get to 99 magic, and anything else you can just buy them from the shops because you get somewhere between like 60 to 100 mil GP from all the rune drops if you kill these with all of your melee and ranged XP, which is nuts. You could never even use that much GP no matter what you were doing on free to play. So I've been killing these guys since, these gals, sorry, since I was, I think I came here at 70 attack and 94 strength. I used to kill Moss Giants because I did most of my melee XP before these guys came out. And Moss Giants used to be a very good method, and they're actually still a pretty good monster to kill because they are significantly faster XP per hour than these because of the lower defense level. And now with the Moss Giant boss, you can get some pretty decent drops too. And in general, they do drop, they drop nature runes and they drop law runes, which are useful, but in much lower quantities than the ogresses do. So once I got to ogresses, I realized that my attack level was not very good for them because they have much higher defense than Moss Giant. So I plugged in some information to some calculators and determined that it was more efficient for me to train my attack level a bit higher than 70 before continuing training strength. So I did that. I gradually worked my way up to 85 attack, and that's where I'm going to leave it because it's much better, and I think from here it is more efficient for me to go back to training strength and get those max hits again. So the plan from here on out is to continue training strength. I'm getting pretty close to 96, and I'm probably just going to try to stay here until I get level 99, and that will be my second 99 on the count. It'll be pretty cool. Is get about 40 to 45k an hour melee XP if I'm paying full attention, prayer flicking, potting, all that kind of stuff. So I'm less than 100 hours away from that. I think probably about 70 or 80 hours, and I will be able to finish 99 strength. And then after that, I haven't totally decided what I would do yet, what I would do next. I still have lots of time to think about it. Pretty decent chance I'll take a break from melees, and if I don't take a break, then I'll just go right on to attack. I think what I may do is sort of cycle between training melees and training smithing or crafting or whatever else with the runes that I get, and just sort of get some runes, use them up, get some more runes, use them up, and so on and so forth. And also I'll be training some magic, since whenever I stop killing ogresses, I need to use my death runes up, and I can use those on Fire Blast, which I think I'll actually be killing more ogresses with because I don't know what else I would kill. I don't have a whole lot of like big useful content left to unlock now that I have high enough smithing to make all of the like useful rune items, but it would be cool to get my smithing higher so I could make things like rune full helm would be nice, since right now rune full helm's not too hard to get from monster drops, but it would still be cool to be able to smith if I ever need one. And more importantly, it would actually be really nice to smith rune kite shields, because right now the only way to get them other than that is from Obor, and it can take a really long time of killing Obor because it's not a particularly common drop. But you do need 96 smithing with a +1 boost to make rune kites, so that would take quite a while. So I'll either be doing a lot of ogresses with an Addy shield or doing a lot of Obor to get another rune shield if I ever want one again. But yeah, the plan from here on out is just to keep gradually training this account and doing things in a pretty efficient manner as I enjoy doing, and just seeing how far I get. I still don't have a whole lot of time to play the game because my IRL has changed and I'm putting more focus on things outside of the game these days, as I have been for the past like year and a half or so. But I definitely do still enjoy this game, especially in free to play, and still have some motivation to make progress on here. So that's what I'm planning to be doing. Hopefully I'll see you guys again in less than 10 months this time with another video for 99 strength, since that will be the next notable milestone on this account hopefully, and then I'll probably have more information on what I'll be doing from there and any other plans or updates that may have happened in the meantime. So thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed, and appreciate everyone sticking with my channel despite my very sparse uploads, and have a lovely day.